today we have a player type which is, as far as I know, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, a player type which is quite popular in the top 10 of the chess ranks or the chess world, the Pragmatic. Now, what kind of player is the Pragmatic player, Karsten?
Yes, it is very popular in the top 10 at the moment. That's right. And I guess it should also be very, very popular in general.
Okay.
I guess, without having any scientific data or research done, that most players start as activists and get more and more pragmatic later.
I missed this train. I'm so sad about this.
Well, it's
still the activist, the child.
It's never too late to join that train. Try it.
Okay.
Try to join that train. I guess that I had to become a grandmaster. I had to join that train.
That's a good
for
point.
Me personally.
Oh, wow. Now people at home might be thinking a lot.
Please try to take that train.
Yeah, it can only help, I guess so.
Yeah, so it's a bit, Lewis and I classified only 3 world champions at Pragmatics, but you could also Fischer, Oewe and Lasker.
Okay.
But you could take the late Tal, the late Kasparov, the late Spassky.
Gotcha.
Also as Pragmatics, and then it's
a bit calmer.
When you get older, you get a bit calmer. You cannot sacrifice your card queen in every game, or you cannot play in every white game, castle short and g4. When you are young, you can do it. I tried, but when you get older, then you lost the last game due to knight f4 winning, and the last game knight h3 game over, and then you think that maybe I should wait and play only g3, and then you think, maybe the pawn should stay on g2, and we play on the queen side first.
So it's a bit more, the step to becoming an adult is the Pragmatic chess player.
This of course goes too far, but it has a certain kind of point, but it goes too far.
I got you. Now let's continue.
Other strong players are Korchnoi, Karana, Dingley Ren, Karyakin, Vasile Graf, Lewis Engel, my co-author, and Alpha Beta engines. And
you mentioned this in the last part already.
Yeah.
Which is, the link is below, for you to know.
But the Alpha Beta engines, if we take the evaluation function as given, are of course pure pragmatics.
Yes.
They only calculate lines, nothing else.
Yes, I gotcha.
No other consideration.
Funny, yeah.
Like we have a tile sacrifice, we have no matter for alpha beta engines, they just calculate concrete lines. There might be 2 types of pragmatics, by the way. Already Lars Bo Hansen makes some sort of, there are in a way strong defensive pragmatics like Korchnoi and others who like to grab material and then like to defend with extra material. Mm-hmm. But this goes already a bit far, but there could be one special pragmatic type there. You can always, with these 4 types, of course, you can always go deeper.
Into deeper branches, yes.
Yeah, activists, hyperactivists, we mentioned explicitly.
Yes.
You could always, with a theoristic even more, you can always go to deeper branches. Mm-hmm. But here I just want to mention, especially already Lars Bo Hansen does this, one could see 2 type of pragmatics, these material grabbing like types like Korchnoi, and pragmatics who would say, well, I can take on b2, but this is not my chess. I don't grab there, but I'm nevertheless a pragmatic.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to mention these material grabbing type of pragmatics, which makes some sense to make a type. I think, and Korchnoi would be a typical player of that type.
Surely.
Okay, pragmatics have a very concrete approach. They can calculate exactly, accurately, and very deeply, and they make very seldom clear mistakes because they inside of their deep horizon of calculations, they don't make mistakes if they have a good day, of course.
Oh, funny. Okay.
Yeah, we are all only humans, but
except the alpha beta engines.
Yeah, they never make such kind of mistakes, and they are not humans. And they are, if they take the evaluation function as given, they are pure pragmatics.
Fair enough.
Yeah. They are strong, so they are strong in sharp tactical positions. In there, you have to calculate many concrete sharp lines, and where you can just play by intuition. Yeah. So they are concrete players, not intuitive players. Yeah, the best example for this are alpha beta engines, clear. Yeah, sometimes, but now it gets a bit more, murky. We could go a bit deeper, but it's now, this is a clear Hansen characteristic, and we are sure. This now gets a bit deeper. It also often, but it's deeper. Pragmatic can also have other practical relevant factors for practically good decisions. If they are good there, then they have a good time management. But this also looks at the emotional axis and other things. It's a bit more murky. But Lewis has a good time management. But this is murky stuff. Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah, could tend to be.
And they can defend very tenaciously because they don't lose by direct refutations, because they can. Yeah, Sergei Karyakin also is a good example. He has also often been called the Russian Minister of Defense. Of course, this was meant, of course, as a compliment.
For sure, yeah. That we all know. I agree. Yes.
Okay. Weaknesses.
Yeah. What are there for weaknesses if they're so good in defending?
But you can see that Alpha Zero beat the Stockfish engine back then, so there must be some weaknesses, some exploitable weaknesses by a deep reflector like Alpha Zero.
Well.
Yeah, the concrete approach can also be seen as a weakness, as a strength. In technically positional positions, many pragmatics swim around and don't know what to do because you can't calculate. Yeah, there is no fourth line.
So they cannot really form a plan sometimes?
Okay. Deep strategical planning is not their strength because they have a concrete approach.
Okay.
So sometimes they have weaknesses to see long-term plans or to see them of the opponent. And also deep, this would be especially a weakness against reflectors. And of course, against deep king attacks would be a weakness against activists and hyperactivists.
If they get in the situation of having a king attack against them, they tend to...
If the king attack is too deep, they don't see it because it's behind the calculation horizon of the concrete lines. For the moment, there isn't the opponent doesn't play knight to Z square, the knight sacrifice and wins, but it's deeper hidden. And then it might be problematical for a pragmatic. Okay, was another weakness, they don't want to play intuitive sacrifices, they only want to play clearly calculatable correct sacrifices.
I can never become a pragmatic.
But you can try to become more pragmatic in your approach.
That sounds
like theorists, they are often slightly too materialistic, but in general they are relatively equal, relatively universal, and have only few clear weaknesses. Yeah, this might be one of the reasons why many top players are pragmatics. And of course, also one could say they are good in the modern computer times. They are good in this computer usage. And also this 2 rounds a day might be good for pragmatics. So these pragmatical approaches, these more sporting types of might be good for pragmatics. But this is a bit murky territory. It might be additional theories why there are so many pragmatics now in the top 10. Computer and more sporting aspects and practical aspects of life and handling of all things. They might be better. Some theorists and other chess players are chess players and completely they can't prepare 2 rounds because, and so on. But pragmatics might be more pragmatic in this also. But this is more key psychological territory.
Okay. Yeah, but I like this point a lot, and it makes a lot of sense, although it is
it is murky and takes it a bit out of this 4-player model by Lars Bo Hansen. But I wanted to mention it because I think also to me it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond the model. But there might be guidelines going beyond the model, of course. The model is not the wisdom of the universe, it's just a model.
Exactly.
And for example, the green trees in life are fortunately richer than the gray series of those models.
Oh.
It's not by me, it's not word by word.
It's not for you, okay.
But fortunately, all models have their limitations.
Yes.
And their 4-player model also has its limitations.
Of course. No, but
I nevertheless
it gets to some basic roots, definitely. I mean,
and
no doubt.
For the moment, don't know why the 4-player model is not so popular at the moment, but Shall we discuss it here or shall we discuss this later in another clip?
We will discuss this once we have spoken about all the player models.
Okay, but I don't know why it hadn't catched on much more already.
You mean in the English-speaking territory?
Or in general. In 2005, it has been introduced, but okay, we should discuss it in another clip.
Yeah, we will. Okay. We will. Yeah, it's very interesting. I want to get into this too because I think it is more.
Okay, then it
should be more popular than ever. But that's just my opinion.
Okay, that's just your personal opinion, of course. But let's cut it short here at the moment. Okay, so we are at pragmatics. Okay, then trainings options. Yeah, they should train maybe technical. Positions more deeply, maybe look at Magnus Carlsen's games or look at games from theorists to try to understand the strategical aspects more deeply and then try to also trust the intuition more. I think Lewis also did it another way. He looked more activist games and then now has more used his intuition. For example, his fantastic win, amazing win in the last Magdeburg German Masters tournament where he amazingly won. And one thing I think he introduced was he brought more activist components into his games, and one especially was his fantastic win against German super talent Rasmus Swane. Please study Lewis' win there. This was there he showed typical activist qualities.
Interesting. I think we can have the game below.
Okay.
You will see it, then I will
great.
add.
That would be great if you could add Lewis' win from Magdeburg against Rasmus Swane.
Yeah, maybe you can find the direct correlations to a pragmatic. Shall we look at an example? To an activist. Pardon.
To an active.
Yes.
To an active.
Okay. I will notice this underneath.
Okay, one moment. Okay, they will usually work hard at their opening repertoire. They will do it with a computer, and their repertoire will be computer correct. There will not be.
Get those Fritztrainers.
Yeah. Then they often play sharp principled variations and know their repertoire very, very well. They try to get direct positions and try to avoid strategical openings like English or Catalan. And they drive forward their openings like Lopez or E4, best by test. Bobby's quote, open Sicilians. And Bobby Fischer, of course, also is a master is a real master pragmatic.
I see. Yeah, because you can master every player type, of course. It doesn't have to be one is worse than the other. They just have their differences, and you can master all of them.
In our characteristic, we have 5-3, 5-3 distribution of 4 types to the 16 world champions, and this is almost equal. So it is you and the activist pragmatic. You could. So it is. I think it's another good sign for the model, but of course we should stick with the pragmatics first.
Fair enough, of course, yes. Yeah, let's take a look at an example. So we have a theorist against a pragmatist, and Fabiano Caruana wins this game as black.
Yeah, here's an extra exchange here, and the thing is just to calculate everything correctly to convert to the win. What to do with black?
So it's black's move.
Yeah, obviously.
Then so our rook is under attack.
And where shall it go? B6, A4, E4. You have to calculate the lines. It's just rook,
I
B,
can.
E4.
We have to click.
Yeah, you are an intuitive activist.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really how it. Okay, but we don't want. Yeah. So we have to calculate the lines, of course. You go here now. If you go bishop d3, we have important to see, of course.
What do we have?
We win by.
Oh, we just take on d5.
We calculate that we win. Right. Then bishop b5.
Then we might have to.
Yeah, here comes the big moment. Here comes the big move. It has to be seen concrete things. It can't be done with intuitive feeling by a hyperactivist that we have an extra exchange and whatever happens. Here we have to see the big winning move. We see it, we calculate it to the win, or we don't. Typical job for pragmatic.
I get you. Okay. Well, I don't know. The rook c8 is not even working. What am I talking about?
We have it or we don't have it.
Okay.
Okay, some evaluation is of course also needed, but.
Well, this is tough for black, or isn't it?
Probably Ruslan Ponomarev thought the same, but how did Fabiano refute this wrong theory? Black to move and win. Yeah, these pragmatics are very strong. Okay, what is the most active move in the way we can... These candidates I can also find.
Okay.
What does attacks most people?
The queen can get to c5, attack both bishops.
Attacking both bishops.
Then
I
would have to calculate, of course, if that's even working.
Only move is bishop takes e8, we take, you go home, and now.
Okay.
It would still not be bad for black probably, but we should calculate here that you have this d pawn and whatever, and we should continue to calculate, I think.
I see, okay.
And I'm sure that Fabiano didn't stop here with feels good. He calculated more.
What about g6?
The pragmatics, they are very strong at this.
I quickly just announced it because I saw that the
check, we go on, we calculate everything, we go on, and we go on, and here we can make a break, and
yeah, nothing's threatening. There's a check, but
pragmatics are also good where you calculate to a certain moment, but when can you stop? This is also a difficult question for many players. Pragmatics are very strong at this is exactly the moment to here we stop and game over. This was made by Lewis, of course. Lewis. Other player types has a problem. Can we stop here or we calculate 10 more moves, or should we have stopped 10 moves earlier? Pragmatics are very good at the moment that here we stop. And yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, yes.
That's it.
Oh boy.
But nevertheless, of course, Ruslan Ponomarev should have gone here, but okay. Yeah. He played bishop takes f6. This loses directly, but okay. The other loses also. Okay, what is the problem? How did Fabiano refute it?
Can we just check on e1?
Yes, and we just take, and the problem now is...
rook d2?
Well, if you go rook d2,
it doesn't seem to be correct.
Opens another,
rook f1 maybe instead.
Rook d2 opens another, I don't know how to call it, abyss or whatever it opens. Yeah, then now we would need a... What about bishop takes f7 check for a start?
Oh, that is not nice.
I'm an activist, I'm an activist. What you gonna do now?
But me too. I will just go
I think we are gonna lose now.
King h8.
But if nothing else, I would have this. And then you, if nothing else, I would.
That's very nice. Yes.
I might.
You're a very good activist.
Thank you.
Well, okay, but now what to do
The refutation is the big point. Had Fabiano seen
Queen d5? No,
not queen. Then
rook d5.
Not queen d5.
Because we have to carry the c8 square.
Game over. And now the big difference is that this is the big difference.
Nice.
You cannot outcalculate Fabiano.
Interesting. Poof.
By the way, f6 wins as well. But now we have left the topic. But here now he converted. Now we have a technical winning position, and Fabiano converted.
Nice one. Yeah, we have all those top players in the top 10, and most of the players are pragmatics.
Yes, but the world champion is a reflector.
Yeah. So is this just because that's how it is, or but Magnus started as an activist more or less in his younger years.
But he already had his reflector qualities.
I see. I got you. Okay.
His brain already had in a way them from the beginning. Or we don't understand in a way, but
yes.
But
now, will there be
But okay, maybe Or shall we discuss it here with the pragmatics, or shall we stop the pragmatic part here?
No, I just wanted to quickly say, how big are the... I just wanted to note one last thing. Alireza Firouzja. What kind of player is he? Because he is in the top 10 list. He was advancing in the last year massively.
I now see that I should go in deeper. I haven't looked at this this because when the book was there, he wasn't in the
He
top.
wasn't in the top 10
Because when
even,
the book, he wasn't even in the top for the top 10 list. Lewis and I did, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
haven't gone there too deeply. So I don't know. I guess by intuition, but I have to check that. I guess by intuition, he's an activist now, getting more pragmatic. But this is just an intuitive guess. Nothing. I should definitely deal with it deeper, but we didn't do it because when we all made it, he wasn't even in the top 10.
Absolutely fair enough. Okay, yeah, we can make our decision on our own. We will see each other the next time for our last player type, which is the theorist. See you then.
See you then.